Greetings once again. It's a pleasure to be back and it's a pleasure to be having these conversations with you. So, the other time when I had conversations, I was talking about the experiences from the PSK conference and all that. Then the next phase for this now is about some of the ongoing projects that I'm working on and working on with some of my colleagues. But at the same time, it's also based on some inquiries that are coming in. So for today, I'm going to talk about how do you optimize and actually use networking as an enabler in your career journey and your career growth trajectory. And this is basically based on a question that was asked to me with regards to a networking cocktail that we're planning for next week on Friday, the regulatory affairs networking cocktail that I'm planning with some of my friends as well, as a follow up to some of the training that we've been engaging in, some of the discussion that we've been having within the regulatory affairs space. So when that question came to me, it's about what is the value? How do I get networking to help me in my career growth trajectory? And what is the value of that networking to start with and for a start? Because the key thing that normally we associate with networking is building relationships and building friendship and hoping that some of these friendships would give you the next job that you're looking for, the next opportunity that you seek, which is a credible actually approach and a credible output from networking engagements, which is key. But then it isn't the only thing that networking brings for you. So, for example, in this particular case, when we're talking about the regulatory affairs networking cocktail, the question is: in at what level are you in your professional development journey? Are you a senior professional in the regulatory affairs space? Are you a mid-level manager? Are you an entry-level associate in the regulatory affairs space? Or are you somebody who is aspiring to venture into the career trajectory in regulatory affairs, the career space? So all those people are in different levels in their career with different aspirations and different needs in their career journey, and also different needs in terms of skill sets, support systems that they would need to be able to deliver on their job and to deliver in their aspirational professional development journeys. So in all of them, there is a value for networking, but the question is, do you know what you really need in your professional development? Do you know what networking can help you get in that journey, and how does it get you what you need out of that journey? Those are critical questions and critical insight that we need to understand as we craft our journeys, as we actually deliver value, but at the same time deliver value working with others and leveraging on their capabilities, insights, and also resources that they might have that we do not really have in our own spaces. So that is a critical thing to acknowledge. So for me, when this question came to me in terms of how do you get value of what's the value of networking in one's professional growth and one's career growth? What is the value of networking? I'll tell you for a fact, the starting point is when you're out of school, you're looking at opportunities to venture into. With the current unemployment dynamics and current dynamics in the market that are not favorable to all of us, it means you need to be able to know, what am I willing to commit my time to? What are the prospects in that particular line of work? I would give you an example. I finished my undergraduate training, and after finishing my pharmacy education, I was out there ready to pursue any career that would come to me. But the key is, how would I know all other prospects and all other possibilities in that market? The only way I'm able to know what possibilities lie out there is by networking with people who are practicing in those environments, or people who know people working in those environments. And by networking with them, you are gaining insights, gaining relevant practical insights on what they're doing on a day-to-day basis. From that knowledge, you are able to now push yourself to move to the next level, where you're now applying for the same job because you know what would that job need of me. What would be the key skill set? Is it something that I'm willing to commit my time to? So when you're getting out, you need that networking as a knowledge, actually kind of enlightenment. You need to be enlightened about what's happening, where is it happening, how can you get into the space, and all those dynamics. So that is a key bit at the entry level of your career journey. And that is important because you need to network, and that networking, in my perspective, should start as early as possible when you get into your a degree program, or even before you get into your degree program. If it is high school, the better. If you get to university and you've already chosen a career path, and actually that career path, and in terms of the course that you're pursuing, is what you hope to go with, ask yourself, can you use the same credentials and certifications after your course to apply yourself in the real job market? What career opportunities are out there with that particular course? How do you get into that space? And that is going to be a very critical thing for you in terms of networking. The other thing that we look at after our education is, where will I work? Where will I get my job? And where you will get your job would be dependent with what opportunities are presenting themselves, who can help you get access to those opportunities, and who can vouch for you and get you the job where you need it. And this is a conversation that I've talked about a couple of times in terms of how my career journey started. I reached out to one of my senior colleagues and one of actually a mentor in that particular space. And I asked her, by the way, I'm done with my schooling, I'm looking at opportunities. Would you be having an idea of anything that I can do at this particular moment? By making that phone call, I was referred to another job. It therefore means the networking component is going to be your entry point, actually, your access to the next career journey that you're going to pursue. And in that case, that single call got me the first internship placement. That internship placement worked as a project associate that opened up pathways for me to the next job, and then the next job get me to where I'm now working. So those are the dynamics. Are you networking with people who can open possibilities for you, open opportunities? You will not be able to make that call unless you met that person and at least you know them, because you need somebody to call. Who are you going to call if you've not networked, you've not engaged, you've not met people who you can reach out to? You need to be able to reach out to people, and you need to be able to engage with them, ask for that help that you need. So that is another key value in terms of how you can use networking as an enabler. When you have an opportunity, when you've already known what you're looking at, you're looking for a job, reach out to some people, ask them, how can I get into, do you know any opportunities? They will send some your way, they'll recommend you for some. Whatever key is, you need one that actually pays off, and then once that pays off, opens the ways to the next subsequent ones that you're willing to get into, and that are going to open up your career trajectory as you hope and wish for, provided you apply yourself and you get into that market. That is one phase. The second phase is you're already in the job. The networking bit has gotten you to that job. And this is a conversation that I also had with some of my my friends and colleagues in other previous conversations, and it was about, would I take a job that actually doesn't pay as much, yet I have something that may pay me more at the immediate moment, but there's no room for growth in terms of the career trajectory? And my response to this is, depends with what you want, depends with what you really need, and also what are your aspirations. Immediate gratification that you might be pursuing, probably in this case it was the context of academic writing, or pursuing a career and getting meaningful long-term employment, even though it might not be paying me much. The academic writing that you're doing, well, it's good, it's paying your bills, it's giving you return on investment, and you're making money out of it. The key is, academic writing does not allow you to publish the material, the content that you're creating. So how will you use that as a portfolio of work that you've done? In some way, it's actually unethical, because you're helping somebody pass their exams unethically for the sake of getting the money. So there's no way that that can be a portfolio of works that can open you up to other prospects. So it's black market dealing and work. That is one. Two, beyond that, by the virtue that you're limiting yourself to that academic writing, unless you're doing it as an add-on job to another thing that you're doing, the better for you. If you can do both, that's good enough for you, because you're making the money. But then when you might start at a very low level, but in a corporate setting, one, you're networking with colleagues and peers in that work environment. Oftentimes we have industry engagements, and by the virtue of working with one company, you'll meet peers in other companies. Those other companies, one, you network with them, you get to know what they're doing, and they also open up to sharing opportunities with you. By the virtue that you are meeting with them, they know your background, they know the work you're doing, you have a portfolio to open up pathways for you into the next job, into the next company, into the next role that you're hoping for. But if you're not in the practice environment, you're not interacting with people who might see value, who might actually be able to refer you to the next job, you will not get that job, you will not get that opportunity, and therefore the room for growth is not as much as you would have wished for it. That is critical. Some of the other things, now you're in the job and everything, you've looked at those dynamics. In that particular role that you're playing, you're working in an industry that is influenced by macro and external factors. And for these macro and external factors that are going to impact and influence how you perform your role, you need to be able to understand them. The best way you'll understand them is, one, by reading extensively. But beyond reading, you need to discuss it with industry peers to see how are they looking at it, what are their approaches, what are their alternative solutions, how are they meeting these needs. I would give an example within my work in the regulatory affairs space. I would be applying for registration of a product through a national procedure, and you meet an industry peer who is telling you, go the regional harmonization pathway, the joint assessment procedure. You will get the recommendation, then from there, it's easier to translate it into national registrations, which will save on time for you. There is reliance pathway. Have a product from the European market that has already registered, use the assessment reports, talk to the local regulators. These people will help you get the product registered in a short time, and actually that will ensure that you have a better go-to-market timeline, because the time that you take your product from registration to the market determines the success of the product, but also the access to the patient that we are serving in that kind of domain. So that is a critical bit. You will not get to know about these insights and these alternative perspectives unless you're interacting with people in the industry who are actually trying them out, testing them and seeing what next can I do, how can I do it better, who do I need to talk to, where do I talk to them, do you have a contact, can you refer me to talk to them and discuss these possibilities. Very important that you need to know. So that is one bit when you're in the job market, getting insights and intelligence in the market that you're working in. Market insight is very critical. That is where you'll see corporates and companies would have invested in trade associations, membership platforms, because through those networks you are able to learn from others, you're able to actually aggregate this knowledge and collect those insights, and then use that insight to make strategic business decisions and guiding frameworks on what will be the next move that you make as a company. Failure to which you'll be setting yourself up for failure as a professional. But at the same time, if you failed as a professional, then the company is losing. There's no need for them to retain you. So you are risking actually your career, but also risking the growth of the company. Somebody will be able to use those insights, collect it, and drive the conversation in the company, has a better prospects, because you closed yourself out from engaging with them and actually seeing what the next course of work for you would have been. So that is an opportunity that you need to leverage on. So when getting the insights from stakeholders and peers from a networking standpoint, and also from for the example, in this regulatory networking summit, that cocktail that we're having, you get to network with regulators, professionals who are senior in the career, the young people who are venturing into the career, and some people who are still aspiring to get into the matrix. By interacting and engaging with these people, you're able to understand what are their pain points, what are their challenges, what are the needs that they have, who can you reach out to whenever you have a problem in the space. Having those critical contacts are essential, and they are going to be opening ways for you as an individual. And I think it's important that we look at networking beyond an avenue to link me to the next job. That is one of the options, but then it's an avenue to know what's happening in the market, to gain insights. It's an avenue to partner with people. You might be looking at, in the next phase, having your own consultancy firm. Who are the consultants in the market? What insights do they have? How can they help you shape your own consultancy and professional trajectory as an expert, offering services but not within an employment setting? What are those possibilities? Trade associations, trade networks. So we need to see networking beyond one phase, but also as a continuum of how we can shape the industry. And then the other thing around networking is when you collaborate and share challenges, those challenges can be used as actually ripple effects and I would say kind of stepping stones to shape better prospects, better policies, and better governance structures in our different professional lines of work. And that is what we would all wish for. So look at engaging within the networking forums as an avenue for you to meet others, meet peers, look for jobs, gain market relevant insights, as a stepping stone for you to aspire and actually grow into the next aspirational level in your professional development journey. And on that account, I would urge you all, let's join together for those who are aspiring to get into the regulatory affairs space. Let's meet on 14th of July 2023, Swiss Lenana Mount Hotel, Upper Hill, as we have the regulatory affairs networking content. Let's learn from others, let's challenge each other, let's see how we can make the profession better, but beyond the profession, grow ourselves as individuals, growing an ecosystem and growing the industry together. For me, networking has been a blessing. I started networking during my undergraduate in different leadership forums, and I got to know people, learned from them, shared perspectives, knew what other lines of work I would want to get into, made a phone call that got me the first landing into a job. That landing, networking with others, I got referral to the next one, then I got taken into another company now. And these have been incremental challenges and growth that I'm gaining by the virtue of networking with people. Who are you networking with? Where are you networking with them? How are you using that networking to grow yourself, to grow the industry, and to support others in the ecosystem? It's also an opportunity for you to give back. By the virtue that you're in a space where you have the insights, getting into the networking forums is an avenue to share your insights, network with others, but also to inspire the next generation to be able to contribute more, to get better, and to shape the course of our professions. Thank you so much. If you enjoy the discussions, please subscribe to the channel. Let's engage, share the content with other people who might find value in it, and let's grow together. Thank you and have a good one.